with my mother. I just had fun. We went out to breakfast with my local hero tennis partner. She was my tennis partner back in like junior high and high school, and she now lives here. She was an English literature teacher in Madison, Wisconsin for 30 years. She's moved back. You'll see her, but she's talking to my mom right now. Great. Yeah, so I'm still here, and I'm leaving in a couple hours.
My father's colleague, a little bit older than you, he has a tradition. It was either New Year's Day or Christmas Day. He would play tennis, regardless.
Yeah, I was going to show you guys something.
And so I remember once, we had to shovel the whole tennis court and played in the snow.
That's funny.
It was funny.
Yeah, yesterday they had the annual, the polar bear thing where they all jump in the water naked, or, with their swimming.
Oh my God.
I know, it's incredibly cold up there. It's just like, you wouldn't believe it. It's like painfully cold. It's just.
They also do it in Turin.
Yeah.
In the river. It's incredible.
I know, it must be invigorating, especially after all the holiday eating.
It's a tradition.
Yeah. And, of course, they're all shoveling the football field right now. Big game.
Sure.
Oh, this is great. Yep, my mom's doing well today, and
wonderful.
My new sister-in-law took me up. Yeah, it's been a really good trip. My new sister-in-law is going to take me to the airport, and that'll be fun. Well, I guess, what do you call your sister? It's my sister-in-law's sister, who was my friend in high school.
Sister-in-law's sister.
Yeah, what is that name for you? Maybe there's no name.
I don't know. I think it's.
Maybe it's called my sister-in-law's sister.
It's called Sister Act 2.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Sister-in-law once removed, maybe.
Well, I don't know if you know, that's a movie with
Yeah, sure. I saw it. 2 movies.
2 movies.
With Whoopi Goldberg.
Goldberg, right. Franny, are you on?
No, I know.
That's our secretary. Hold on a second.
We got out of the shower, probably.
My sister brother. I'm doing my job as a connector. Last night, a guy came over that I knew from Facebook, and I never met him in person. It was so fun. Yeah, and he happened to work here, and he said he met my mother when she broke her hip. Isn't that crazy? And then so he came up to visit.
That's
nice.
I know. What are the chances of that? And I knew him through this random group that he started. It wasn't so random. It was about Appleton or this town, but he wasn't really a friend. He was the class of my brother and Willem Dafoe and those guys. So, I feel dizzy today. Maybe I'm getting a contact high from all those people in Colorado. I woke up already dizzy.
Finally, your day has come, Barb.
I know, this is happening, man. This is great.
I think they should rip the plane so it doesn't go over Colorado.
I know, I hope like mine, there was like 15,000 flights have been canceled. But I think I'll be okay.
Well, I'm not used to seeing you alone anymore. I'm not used to seeing Greg alone anymore.
Right. Greg's back to his bachelor pad.
Something is missing in the picture.
I know.
I'm so sorry yesterday I woke you up.
Oh, you did not really wake me up, but I had in the middle of the night or early in the morning, you said, I've got to get up in time just to alert you. So I actually just gotten up previously to send you a couple messages, one on Skype and one on Facebook.
And of course I didn't read them.
Of course not, well. But, so I was halfway there and I was just back in bed. But, Yeah.
What a night.
Yeah. We got home at 4:30 in the morning.
My God.
Oh,
Really?
she got, Franny got in about 4:30 in the morning. She didn't get to sleep till, an hour later or so.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Oh, that's right. We got home at 5:30 in the morning.
You got home at 5, yeah,
5:30, not 4:30. That's right.
the plane came in at about 4:30.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was supposed to arrive at 11 at night.
wow.
And luckily, everything went well.
We had 12 to 18 inches here of snow.
Wow.
You
Wow.
had
Fine.
because we had the lake effect here. I guess you had your lake effect up there.
Wow.
Green Bay is, and the lake is not that far away. But I don't know what the temperature is. It was,
The snow was already here when I got here. It hasn't snowed since I've been here, thank goodness.
Oh.
It's just been cold, really cold.
Yeah, in Italy, it's very, very cold.
But I think it snowed in Minneapolis last night, and that's the direction I'm going to go. But I
last
think
time I was in Central Europe, I was in Berlin and Heidelberg, where it was so cold that the trains didn't run because they were frozen. All the
Wow.
grease and things that.
yes,
Yeah.
today in the news they showed the guy takes a banana, and he goes, see this banana, and then he takes a nail and he pounds in the nail with the banana, the frozen banana. He goes, that's how cold it is. It's funny.
And when it's warm, they take out an egg and fry it on the car roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have been snowing for 2 days now, Greg?
Well, it stopped yesterday. It's clear today. It snowed all day yesterday, very likely, but accumulated. But it was light. It probably blew away. And I didn't go out at all yesterday. I don't think I even left my room.
I didn't go out. I've been out like 5 times since I've been here. Well, once a day, maybe.
This is your once a day.
Oh, man.
I used to go to Wissahickon Park every single day in the cold.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was doing in the spirit of that. I've been running for
0 degrees.
around here and back. Yeah, it's just kind of like that. That's what it was.
The streets were covered with ice.
Right, right.
And there was this one time I was coming down. I was going through Chestnut Hill.
Yeah.
I was coming down this slight grade into an intersection, and the other guy was getting into the intersection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sliding into the intersection, and so was mine. And we were on a collision course. And he looked up at me, and he put his hands up like, what am I supposed to do? I can't stop the car. It was funny. We both laughed, and we missed each other.
Well,
Oh, that's good.
I remember that. He was running around with the challenge. Yeah.
We missed each other.
You missed each other. That's awesome. I felt bad with me the other day.
So what time do you fly?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going flying back today, Bob?
Yeah, I leave in, it's like now about 11:30, and I leave at 4:30.
You're going to Texas on the face?
Yep. Hopefully, we'll to Albuquerque.
You mean you're leaving now?
I'm leaving in something like 3 hours or 4 hours.
Oh, you're leaving,
So you're leaving,
what time
what time did you say you were leaving in
3:30?
I'm leaving, it's 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. 4:30, someone's pick, 5 hours, somebody will pick me up. Well, I have 5 hours. That's good.
Alright,
Oh,
well, we can have the meeting for 5 hours then.
Yeah, I can hang out with my friends.
It's a wonderful idea. Keep Bob company. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mother and I said
Yes,
everything we have to
it
say
seems
to
for
them.
us.
I asked my mom if there's anything else we had to talk about. She said no. I said, is there any advice you want to give me? She said, just take a lot of naps.
Well, your mother is really much better if you're eating.
She's rich. I know she's fat.
That's better.
She's starting to get sad to see me go, and I'm getting a little sad too, but I'm not trying to. I'm trying not to show it. And the other night she was kind of in pain. I said, "You okay?" She goes, "Barbara, we are not from a family of whiners." She is too funny.
It really is good to be around other people.
Oh,
You know,
my
and
God.
it's so healthy. My father just really helps my father go on, having someone with him all the time.
She finally got all dressed today. I guess she'll say hi before we hang up.
Oh.
She met Ross.
Yeah, she's so nice, lovely lady.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean, yeah?
Oh, she's funny.
How is her?
Oh, she's a...
She's your
She
mom.
wanted to know how you say Merry Christmas, no, Happy New Year in Italian.
Right. I asked her mother if I ever travel, where should I go? And she got really silent. I thought she didn't hear me. And I said, Mom. And she goes, I know, I'm thinking. And then she starts thinking, and she goes, you should start in France and then go to Italy. She said,
Barbara?
I just
We just realized, though, we didn't realize that Ross was a good person for your mother to be.
I know, she was perfect. Well, once, a long time ago, when she was looking at our webpage, she saw a picture of Nell. And she said, who's that? And Nell kind of looks like my mother, in a way, like a older, young lady.
Yeah, I noticed your picture of your mother on Facebook the other day, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was sort of intrigued by Nell, and she liked Ross. She heard my session with Ross in the background. She was in the same room. She heard me work with another guy yesterday on the phone, or on Skype, and the guy was getting like a major signal. It was so funny. I was doing the outline with him.
I have always thought, I know Franny's on. Franny, are you on somewhere?
She's probably on mute.
Franny?
Yeah? Hi, Vinyl.
Yeah.
Hello.
If your
If your family had simply heard you helping people
through the
years, it would have fixed everything.
It's
It's really all anybody ever has to hear is you working on somebody and then having a break.
That's why they watch Dr. Phil. They watch other people doing it.
Yeah?
That they want. My sister didn't like hearing me do my sessions with Ross, though. She said she didn't like what I was saying.
Ooh.
But you got me very worried.
I'm sorry.
Stop eating.
Stop what?
You got me very worried.
I know. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I was so tired.
My God.
I was really tired.
This was the signal that you shouldn't have left.
Yeah, I guess.
Shortness
of breath is a magnesium deficiency.
Yeah. Well, I did take magnesium, but I was just so tired. I just, didn't really lay down. I could breathe again. I completely forgot.
When you're tired and you take magnesium,
you breathe
while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
people
think
Some
they
people
go right
don't
down.
breathe while they're sleeping. People hold their breath in their sleep. And that really, that's why they look terrible when they wake up. They've been holding their breath while they were sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. She heard me doing a couple sessions and having Ross work on me, with me. So that was
Yes,
good.
I think it's good if she hears, some curing.
Yeah, and she also is just like having it be in the space, like I do that. I've done it over the years. Because Byron and Christy and everybody used to do that with me. have their conversations or listen to their phone messages, you know, I'd be in the same house or the same room and you just learn things or get the vibration. Like in my mother, I know she's like the little kids where I live now. Like she respects it. Like she got really quiet. She was here during the prayer meeting and she was really quiet and, you know, working on things in the background.
Oh, that's good. Very good. Isn't she your friend? I think she's your friend. Behind you.
She tests on things. Yesterday we were.
Wow, great.
Well, you know, we just said, I said, so Mom, did we cure anything this trip? And she said, yeah. I said, what do you think we cured? And she said, I said, well, maybe we cured feeling bad about ourselves. She goes, oh, we definitely cured that. And I think we installed faith. She goes, yeah, we have more faith. We're not going to worry about things so much. And we tested again today because we talked to her and I said, did we cure anything just now? She said, yes.
Good.
She gets it.
Oh, yeah.
She's accepting the changes. Yeah, it's good. It's good for me to go back to where it all began. At least this lifetime. I tested, we had my mother and I, oh, maybe that's where you come in, Ross. I think my mother and I were in Romans together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Because I've been feeding her a lot. And last night she ate a lot. And she goes, Barb, thank you for letting me have that orgy. I said, we haven't eaten like that since we were Romans together. She started laughing. And then today she got up at 5:30, or she gets up, you know, a lot. And I found her at 5 o'clock in the morning in the kitchen eating this big organic salad I had made. Because I think, you know, like they're nutritionally deficient. Like they may get a lot of food, but it's not like satisfying. So now that I've been buying organic food or making fresh things, it's, you know, feeding her cells a little bit more, I think. So she has a lot more. You know, she's got energy and she can stand up. She couldn't really stand up on her own before and walk around.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. So, so thanks for the outline. And then when I was working with this guy, that was the second or third time I talked to him. His name was Mark. He wants to join on Monday. And he said, and I hadn't had the outline in front of me, so finally I did. And then we did some of the other questions, like, is this real, and stuff like that, because he was getting really pronounced signals. And he was getting yeses on everything. And he was getting yeses on that he wants to help, and that he wants to, you know, be part of this.
Great.
Great.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
Hear that, Karen.
That's really wonderful.
That's really wonderful. About that.
It's inspiring.
Inspiring.
Yep. Wow. Taking a lot to make music.
Well, you know,
No, I'm changing the homepage.
I saw the new movie, or the short movie.
Yeah, the movie
runs the outline.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah. That is what I like about this, because now,
if somebody, when I talk to somebody,
they get a signal. I can just say, okay, go to the homepage and test everything in that movie that you're going to test. The movie can just long series of things to test.
No.
And that is what we've always needed to do, is get
testing.
testing. When
Somebody is
testing,
testing,
then you can talk about you.
Unfortunately,
I mean, that's your feedback.
it's very cold
Very
Yeah.
cold
outside, so
outside, so
I haven't been able
haven't
to,
been able
I
to
can't go out
keep it out.
because it's really
It's
cold.
really cold.
But are you hearing?
Are you hearing
double voice?
the voice now?
You hear your voice and there's no feedback.
Okay.
Okay. Right there.
So
So they
see the
see the homepage
that we have
that we
now
have now
is actually
is actually, it's,
when
new people are not going to go to the hub anymore when they go to what we have now as a homepage.
because that's
Because that's the first thing that people should be studying.
So
So
I'm not
I'm
expecting,
not expecting to get
a lot more
a lot more
sign-ups.
sign-ups.
What I am
What I am
expecting
expecting
is
is
that when people
that when
do
people
sign
do
up,
sign up,
they
they will be testing.
And sort of
And
like,
sort of like,
like
oriented
oriented
toward
testing.
testing things.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we
I think we could get a lot more mileage out of our colleagues
if we
if we
address their
address
issues
their
with
issues
use
with
testing.
the use testing to address.
But I guess
But I guess it depends on the person too.
See,
See,
to get
to get
more
more sign-ups,
we have to
we
have
have to
different
have different people.
um, like
Like
the person that
the
you
person
were
that you were working
with,
with, you were just telling us about.
where did you meet?
Where did you meet him?
Mark, he came, it was either, he I think found the website by Googling it, he said he's actually been dabbling with it for a year, and I think he wrote me on Skype or Facebook, he asked me, maybe I put my name on a YouTube movie, it was one of those kind of things. Then he said, so then immediately I set him up on Skype and we talked like the very first night we saw each other in person and started getting a signal. And then I let him go. And then a couple of days later I saw him on and I said, how's it going? This was yesterday, and then I got him back on and he said that he had tested that it was a fungus, not a virus. He thought he had herpes. But then then I said, well, he goes, so I'm going to find out maybe it's a fungus. And I said, well, just test on it. He said, oh yeah, I can test. And he said, is it a fungus? And his hand went crazy. He goes, wow. He goes, and he goes, and he kept getting big signals. And I said, well, you better test, is that real? And he goes, yeah, that's real.
Wow.
And then he said after the first night we talked,
Did
he
you
had
get
a
your
dream.
vegetables?
And the dream was that he went to a priest
They're
to
ready.
have the priest cure his herpes, help him with his herpes. But then he did it, and the priest suddenly got this huge rash. And then he said he felt bad, so he took it back. And then, so he discussed his dream, and that it was better to just remove it himself and just, that not to have anybody have to take it on. We discussed that. So, yeah, he seemed pretty cool. He's on Facebook, and I think he's from, I don't even know where, I think he might be also from the DC area. He's a young, African-American guy who's really outgoing and fun. And he wants to sign up on Monday, he said, so maybe he'll come to a meeting.
What, has anyone ever called him before?
I don't think so.
What's his name, just so I...
Mark something, he goes so Marky, I think.
Alright, I'll just look out for him.
One of those guys.
And?
Yeah. I don't know what he does, but Marky
Alright.
Hamilton, yeah.
Mark Hamilton.
And then there's the other guy, Scott. Those are the two
You
guys.
know, Barb,
You could probably put
notices
notices on YouTube and
make some money.
make some money every month with
Yeah,
funny people, you know?
I should do it, because both of these guys are gonna sign up. It's not that hard once I just settle down like I have to.
And you
It's,
Instead of
sit at your computer all day and do that, you know, you get limit yourself to
10 or 20.
10 or 20 posts.
You can post.
You can
And
post,
also, you
and also you should be posting
on diseases
on
like
diseases like
scoliosis
scoliosis.
and Epstein.
yeah, I know.
Because
Because
those people
tend to have more money.
I don't mind all those people, too.
So
My
you're
friend
more
here,
You're more
likely
likely
to get
to
better
get
people
better people
if you
don't
focus on
herpes
exclusively.
exclusively.
And
And
also,
also,
Barb, can you
Bart,
still
can
hear
you
me?
still hear me?
yeah. I can hear you, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
You're actually
More likely to meet better people in person.
like
You know, like
just wandering
around
Santa Fe,
Santa Fe,
then
then
on the web.
on the web.
Yeah, that would be make for a more stable lifetime, because even if a few of them stay consistent, that would build, steadily build. I got 2 or 3 people a month even. I have certain hours a day where I do that. And I could just go out when I go out, and I could still meet people, but I wouldn't have to.
You should be
You should be
prowling
prowling
around
around
in
in
the
the
daytime
daytime
whenever the weather's
whenever the weather's good
for
for
people.
people.
Because
That's
that's
how you find
with
people with you have good people in Santa Fe, you know? And also you
it's better
it's better to meet people, you know, like this.
but
But you're gonna have to learn to preen people to fuck with you. Because a lot of times you can't even tell when you're being fucked with. And
Yeah, I
it
know.
just
it
ruins
ruins you for months
Yeah.
at a time.
It happens. Yeah, it's happened to me many times. That's why it's better to be on Skype, because I can see if they're for real or not. Better. It's less easy to be fucked.
Acts, you know?
You know?
Remember the criterion that they are they are somebody you want to work with.
Yeah, I know. This guy knows people. Yeah. Yeah.
At first I was really worried that
Mhm. Yeah, I know, just mentioning that, it needs to be done. I know, I've been an easy target.
Is that your
Is
mother?
that your mother in the background, Bart?
Oh, that's my mother, my friend. Come on in. Hi there. Oh, hi, how are you?
Oh, you still here?
I'm still here, one more day, she's in there if you wanna say hi.
In the bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good trip.
You'll be glad to get out of
It was nice to meet you.
miserable
Oh,
weather.
yeah, it was kinda good, it's invigorating.
Is it?
We should be meeting.
Oh, okay.
It's the only woman in the building older than my mom. So we can visit. It was great. The other day, my mom goes, Barbara, in the middle of the night, somebody came to my bed to say hello. I thought she was dreaming, but this woman had stopped in. They check up on each other.
Her world starts getting more closer in, you know.
I know, I'm giving her 1 degree. I've already given her a bunch of people that come and visit her while I'm gone. You know, we're not, that guy came last night, I realized that he and I are both,
Very glad I met
and
you.
likewise, yeah.
See you again.
Thanks for taking care of my mom, you, myself. You want to see, you want to meet my friends, this guy's in New York, what's
Hello.
hello. She's in Italy, that's Greg over there.
Oh.
On my cure team, yeah, we cure things together.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. Great.
It's all on the internet.
Nice to see you.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you again.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Come on there.
Oh, I totally will.
Come back in the summer when it's done.
Okay. All right.
You can sit outside and enjoy
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, that's true. I had fun even though it was so cold. It was kind of exciting.
Ooh, well, this is the coldest we've had.
I know. It's probably ever. Since 86.
Yeah.
I'll tell you last time I went to. Okay, we had the coldest spell since 86.
I think,
All right.
I think it was.
Okay. That was when I first met you guys. These guys.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Thanks for
yeah.
telling me.
Oh,
All right.
good.
Well, I'll be back and I'll be in touch, okay?
Yeah, and you live in New Mexico?
Right.
Do you live near Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Oh, my husband and I took a journey, we were gonna move to California,
Okay.
because I lived there. And we stopped at Albuquerque, and that was the most beautiful.
That's how people always get there. They stop on the way to somewhere else and they don't leave.
Oh, I thought it
It's
was.
still beautiful. You gotta come back and
It
visit.
is.
Bring my mom with you.
Yeah. I usually don't go on trips too much anymore.
come on.
I have one daughter in Seattle.
All
I
right.
get there once in a while, but that's about all.
And when you come, just call me up and I'll show you.
Oh, I just thank you so
No
much.
problem, no
And
problem.
you have a good trip.
Okay, me too. Thank you. I will. Appreciate that.
That's the neat thing about Lakeland.
That's
People are very close with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Nearby.
Okay.
They're such a community member. They're in each other's lives and they're just like right next door, but they still have their privacy.
That was kind of why she didn't want to come here, but then it just felt very interesting. And you know,
Meyer, you're
what was I going to say? Oh yeah, you know how that Malcolm Gladwell says people are.
making a counterpoint to your conversation.
The mavens and the connectors and stuff. Like, you know how I'm a connector, this guy that I met last night, who I'd never really met before in person, I realized that he's a connector too. He started this, Facebook group that was dedicated to, anybody who grew up here.
Uh-huh.
And it was sort of like two connectors meeting. It was like, he knew so many people.
I want you to test something. Am I afraid of powerful people?
Just test if you're
No.
afraid.
If you're afraid of powerful people.
No.
Greg, what about you?
No.
No.
I'm attracted to powerful people. No.
So you test
So you test your attractiveness, Randy, what
Yeah,
about you?
maybe I'm excited by them.
Yeah, I'm afraid of powerful people.
So you test,
You test your
you
afraid.
test you're afraid of them.
Did you test?
Did you test?
Yes.
Yes.
What about-
She's correctly.
And what about
What
Ross?
about Ross? Are you afraid of powerful people?
Again, no.
Well, the question is, does being afraid of them make them powerful?
Make them more powerful.
So what makes them powerful? Like their notoriety, their position in life, or
Sometimes I've been afraid of
how much money they have?
authority. People.
Okay, am I
Am
afraid
I afraid
of
of running the outline
with powerful
with
people?
powerful people?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody.
everybody.
You're the one just talking about the woman that's just here. No.
I'm just talking about
I'm
anybody
just talking about
who
anybody
seems
who
powerful
seems
to
powerful
you.
to you.
So, what do you get?
What do you get, Craig?
No. You got
I get no.
How about
like when I meet a powerful person,
When I first
when I first meet a powerful person,
am I
am I
afraid
afraid
to
to ask her to test
something?
anything?
No.
No.
My friend that's reading right now is like powerful in the sense that she has personal power, you know? Not like powerful in the world necessarily. But, one thing I'm afraid to have is just,
So you
sometimes I think
just-
about,
what do you test
What do you
now?
test? No, right?
it's just no.
See, because
Because what
what you're
you're
supposed
supposed to do
is find the
is find the
absolute best
absolute
person
best person
you
you can,
can, and then cure
and then
something
cure
with that
something
person.
with that person.
Is that Ross
Is that
saying
Ross
yeah?
saying yes?
Ross, did you
Ross,
understand what I just
I
said to you?
just said to you.
No, excuse me. Do you want to know what I said first to the last question?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted
I wanted
to know if that
to
was
know if that was
just
you
said
that
yeah.
just said yeah.
I said yes. Maybe me. But go ahead. Russ?
Okay, I said the no.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, what was the question? Now I'm confused. What was the last question?
Well, I was just
Well, I was
asking
just
if
asking
it
if
was
it
you
was
that
you
said
that
yeah
said yeah when I was talking to Barb in the middle.
Oh.
Ah, yes. Yes, I did.
Okay, that's good. I like it when you interject yourself in our conversation, because a lot of times you just sit there silently and I bet you have all kinds of things you could just pour it out, you know. You know, it's too bad, it really is too bad that we're not all here in person hanging out together, because I think being on Skype with the muting and unmuting and all the feedback and everything probably changes the way we relate to each other to some extent.
Sometimes I think it's harder with so-called powerful people.
That's really
That's
funny.
really funny because
I was just
I
saying,
was
I
just
wish
saying I wish
we
we
were
were
at
here in person,
standing
standing
around
around together,
because I think
because I
that
think that
being on
being on
Skype
Skype
changes
the way we relate to each other with the feedback and the muting and
and I looked down
and I looked down and I was on mute and nobody heard the word I said.
So
So
I guess I
I guess I
was
was right.
So Barb,
What were you going to just say just now?
Oh, I was just imagining a powerful person, you know, like, you know, like, those different times, like with Jane Fonda and all that. I think part of it's good to know what's next. Even this guy yesterday, who was, you know, energetic and, you know, powerful in that sense, he wasn't wimpy. He tested, yes, it was a fungus, yes. Could I remove it? Yes, he did remove it. And then he's like, well, now what do we do? You know? Like, and then I realized, well, just a second here, let me get my outline. But with a powerful person, you kind of have, I guess, what you've always said is that they'll know what to do. Or you'll say what to do next, but I have to know kind of like what to do next. Because once a powerful person would probably get it right away. Like, get the,
what's supposed
What's
to be
supposed to
happening
be happening
is that
is that the powerful person,
number one,
everyone,
is supposed
is
to
supposed
change,
to
the way
change,
he
the way
feels
he
is
feels
supposed
is
to
supposed
change.
to change.
mm-hmm.
And his
And his
conception
conception
of
of
himself
himself
is
is
supposed
supposed
to
to
change.
change.
And also,
Yeah.
And also,
he's supposed to
he's supposed to
discover
discover
that
that
he's sick,
he's sick,
even though he doesn't
even
have
though he
a
doesn't have a
physical
physical
disease.
disease.
Uh-huh. Kind of happens a lot.
So
Yeah.
So
that's what
that's
you're
what
trying to
you're
do.
trying to do.
You're trying to have people awaken, like wake up
Like
and
wake
smell
up
the
and smell the coffee,
and
and realize that they're
sick,
they're sick,
and they need help.
they need help.
I get it.
And that things
And
can
that
be
things
better.
can be better.
Could have done that with my friend here today more.
What?
Sorry.
What?
I had a breakfast with a friend here today, and we kind of got touched on things, got a basic signal and stuff like that, but I could have gone further.
Wow. That's
It all went so fast, it felt like we were just in and out, and I had to come to a meeting. But next time. Or,
We also,
Like we want people to realize that they are capable of helping themselves,
and that also,
and then also that God will help them.
yeah, she got that part. Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of good old fashioned, like reminding them or letting them catch the spirit.
and also,
And also
also
people need to realize that they can do,
they're able
to do what they need to do, because a lot of people don't know that either.
If they're able, yeah.
Yeah, that they just,
Because they just don't know.
well, they,
No.
for example,
For example,
like
Greg and I, we have to open a cafe in Sarasota,
and
and
to do that,
we have to get a house. Because we can't
open it from a
open it from a
distance.
distance.
You
Mm-hmm.
have to be there.
Be there.
So,
Yeah.
So,
like Greg was talking with Greg
about it,
and some of the
and
things,
some of the things,
some of
you
the
know,
negative
the
things
negative
that
things that you were
Greg,
saying, Greg, were,
and Greg is
usually pretty positive about the whole thing.
So I do
So I do want to give you some,
some
some
credit
credit
for
for
that
that
before
before
going
going
on.
on.
Some of the
Some
negative
of the negative things you were saying with the thing
that I think
that I think we should be working on
were
were
wasn't one that
wasn't
none
one
of us
that none
wants
of us
to
wants
do,
to do with the work of a cafe.
That's something I said, yeah.
Um,
Um,
what,
what,
let's see, Barbara, I think is
Barbara,
making a noise.
Sorry, I thought I was on mute. Now that I've re-thunk all that, I realize if you have the right space and everything, it's not going to be that much work. I mean, we know how to do that. We'll have assistance. It doesn't have to be a big complex menu.
Oh, I could see my way through it.
Yeah.
And doing it.
You'd enjoy it. It was fun, great meeting with the people. It was fun.
I'm not saying it's not something to do. That's not that I'm talking myself into it or out of it. I'm just saying that our perceptions will have to change. And one thing we're doing right now is changing our perceptions by just talking about it like that.
Well,
Because
see, I'm
I'm
looking for things
things
to
to
test.
test.
See,
That's what we're
supposed to be
supposed to be doing with everybody, is looking for things to test.
And like when
And like when I was talking with you,
rather,
I
wasn't
wasn't
looking for things to test.
test.
So
Yeah.
I just was
I
going
just
on
was
to
going
the
on
next
to
thing
the next thing and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing.
Well, at the time, and
I do.
yeah, you were breaking away to take calls from Franny, and I'd be talking, and then you were gone, and
I am sorry.
so it's not like we were really working on anything. We were just talking,
Well,
sort of.
I know,
I know,
though, that in
though, that in
myself,
myself,
I simply
I simply was not oriented towards testing things
when I was talking.
when I was talking.
Even when
Even
I was
when
not
I was not at the airport, the train
landed
hadn't landed yet, so we were still talking about it.
I was not
I was
really.
not oriented towards testing things.
But for
But,
example,
for example,
one thing you could
one thing you
test,
could test,
and everybody should
everybody
test
should
this
test
for Greg.
this for Greg.
Greg test,
Greg test, do I want to do the work
involved
involved
in having a
in
cafe.
having a cafe?
See if you get yes.
If you get yes or no.
And everybody
And
else.
everybody else should be testing, does Greg want to do the work
Of having a
of
cafe.
I
having
get nervous.
Okay,
I get nervous.
So do I.
Yeah, but I guess that Greg would be, if he would be willing to administer it to like what he's done with it, it's like if he had to be the guy to manage, buying the house or whatever, and making sure the thing, is happening from an oversoul perspective. I get that would be the role he could do and would do.
For me, there are different levels of want and what I'm willing to do, and what I can do anything, and
I mean, if we gave you the, yeah, but I mean, if we gave you the money to deposit and stuff like that, like,
But it's
I
just
think
simple
Just
to
a
test,
test,
like,
like,
just to test,
just
do
to
I
test,
want
do
to
I
do
want
it
this work?
for having a
For
cafe?
having a cafe.
What do you
no.
What do you get?
cool, thank you.
But I can test yes. I can test yes. I want to because I want to do whatever's there. Sweep the floor. Oh yeah, I want to do that. I can see it. I can get into it.
Excuse me, you guys, I want you to say I'm my good friend here for a second, because she's leaving. This is my church. This is Greg.
No.
Hey, Greg.
Hi.
Hello.
You look really
Hi
familiar.
there.
Hi there.
I look, I look like I'm from Apple.
We're the two best tennis players in this town.
Yeah, maybe we saw you. Barb and I were at the U.S. Open.
Oh, that could be.
That was when you were in the finals with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, was playing. Barb, did you ever get her signature? Or?
Yeah, actually I did.
Well, when I had the Rick Woodruff,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and I was teaching tennis,
Yeah,
some of the
that's right.
kids, I was
Oh,
talking,
you were Chris?
well, when it was Wimbledon time, I
Uh-huh.
was saying next week we're gonna work on the backhand,
Mhm.
and the kids were like, you're not gonna be here next week, and I, aren't you gonna be at that big tournament?
I thought you were Chris.
Because I had it in her autograph. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice
She's
to
an awesome
meet you.
star.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Barb taught you how to test, or you were?
We were doing a little work on some, she had some fibromyalgia like I have too, some years.
Yeah.
Doing a few removals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you been incorporating that, doing that since then? Have you done?
Well, this is just today
Yeah.
that we had this conversation, so I'll have to follow up with you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sort of like what is going on inside you.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Come and visit my mom again too.
I will, and I'll have my parents come and visit her too, because she's up there. Yeah. So,
All right.
well, so good to see
Yeah, likewise.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Barb
Yeah.
tell you
Barb tell you
Yeah,
were
see.
your
fibromyalgia?
Pardon?
Did Barb
Did Barb tell you that you can cure your fibromyalgia?
Oh no. Here goes the call.
I thought it was just me.
What?
I thought it was just me.
No sooner did I hit the nail on the head, right?
Yeah.
Too funny. Now that's too funny. I mean, yep. Boy, I guess I must have scared somebody into disconnecting us because I was hitting the nail on the head there, you know, asking her if Barb told her if she could. Okay, good. Well, I don't have any any picture or nothing. And I'm not on Skype. I'm not on Skype. Here, come.
No problem.
Yeah,
Let's see you.
I took 'em.
Okay, see you again.
Yeah,
All right, thanks. We'll be in touch.
I can't tell you how much. It was,
Yeah,
it was
totally. Me
so
too.
wonderful.
Me too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Amazing.
All right. Is that your bag?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, see you soon.
I must have
Ciao.
been
Thanks,
making
buddy.
Halfway there, because Greg hung us up.
God.
They're always out of the room, or they make sure you're out of the room.
So that's.
So that's very good, Laura, you know, very good. You did good. Very good.
Yeah, picked up where we left off. I used to get so excited when I could play tennis with her because she's just like so good. She could just hit the ball forever and ever.
She what?
You what?
No matter how like bad would hit the ball across the net, she could retrieve it all. So she would just play till you get into the
You keep
groove.
it playing
Yeah, she could keep it in play, right?
and just
So then
keep going with you. And
yeah, then
get it
pretty
to you.
yeah, so pretty soon I'd get into the groove, and then we were both playing well. But she was and she still is just so patient and like forgiving. It's just like she gave you a lot of space. Very non-judgmental person.
She was your
tennis teacher?
She birthed the same age, and her father was the coach of so many athletic teams that my brother and her brothers were in.
Yes.
And she's just one of those natural athletes, almost like what's the word? Like a savant almost. Like we'd play baseball and she would strike everybody out. And she would hit every ball. Yeah, I have all these trophies, and I can't remember how I got the trophies, but mostly it's because she was on the team. I told her that, and she was like, "Oh no, it wasn't just that, but it was."
Wow.
And then in tennis, she could just hit everything. She is a lot like Chris Evert. She was just saying that she used to teach tennis, and the little kids thought she was Chris Evert. And we went to different high schools, and so I was kind of shy, but I would really wanted to hit the ball with her, and so I would call her, and I would ride my bike, and we'd meet at this park that was between our two houses, and we would hit till the sun went down. I mean, it would be dark out. I didn't want to leave because it was just so much fun. It just felt so good. She could keep going. She could return anything. And so much, yeah. And she went on to play college tennis and won the conference titles, like she said, 3 times in a row.
Well, that's a lot. Big Ten, That's...
Yeah. Well, she went to lacrosse, which is
lacrosse. Okay.
version of. She would go to Madison, but then she ended up being an English teacher in Madison for 30 years. While I was doing this, she was teaching for 30 years.
Wow.
So you were teaching.
Now she's single and lives right in her old neighborhood, bought herself a little house. And has 2 kids that are 27 and 22 or something. Starting to play sports again, but she had fibromyalgia for a while.
Howie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great
story, Laura.
Yeah, it was really fun stories.
Great
Great.
She said to me, she goes, the thing I remember about you, Barb, is you were always a deep thinker like me. Like all the other girls would talk about silly things, but you would always be like, we'd talking to me about something more meaningful. She said, and she was a cheerleader camp, and she didn't have fun because the girls were too silly. But I didn't go to cheerleader camp. Not surprising. I missed that one. But yeah, she came from a long line of athletes.
Well, it
looks like she continued the line from what you're telling us.
That's
great. Those are such great stories. I mean, that shows what it is to be an athlete, these stories like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want it.
You want it, yeah.
If you want it, go ahead. You can have it.
That's the thing about sports.
Any of it now, I don't think. I'm happy with some of it already. Sort of winding down, man.
Well,
Well,
Okay, so this,
okay, so this,
what we were
testing was about Greg whining, and
the point is
the
like,
point is like,
test this
test this
now.
now.
From
From
testing
testing
that,
that,
whether
he wanted to, did Greg cure anything?
Like,
Did I cure anything by testing? Everybody tested Greg. Did he cure anything by testing and having us test for him?
I got yes.
Yes.
So we've got three of
I
what you.
I got yes, yeah.
So the
So the real point of this is not to try to discourage whether Greg wants to or not.
point of it
The
is
point of it is to cure something. And
you
cure enough things,
and
and good things happen. You know,
Someday
someday we may just drop the whole idea of having a cure cafe and never have it.
And
And, you know, that might be because we have cured enough things to realize that, you know, there's an easier way to do it or whatever.
So
So
it doesn't
it doesn't necessarily have to be that when you cure enough, you end up doing the thing.
You might
Yeah.
You might end up not doing the thing.
Right.
But the point is, like, you can do whatever a well person does.
Right.
You know, so what we're trying to do is be well. And, you know, live from a well perspective rather than from a bunch of symptoms. Now,
Franny,
Yes.
avocado.
Oh.
Live well and prosper.
Yes, Mr. Spock.
Let me just put these two little things on the plate, okay? Is that enough? Two pieces?
Yeah.
Barb's on mute now. Yeah, that's true, and that's how, you know, if you're just avoiding looking at something, which is why I was looking at all these things. You learn about the thing. That's sort of what we did with the cafe in Albuquerque. Of course, our hand was played for us by Anna just dropping the whole thing.
Well,
If anybody's talking,
think about it, like we've been sitting in this place with no business
in this
in
freezing
this freezing
weather,
you know,
if we had bought
we bought that
Now,
place.
that's
Now, that's where we'd be.
It's
It's at 40 degrees in
Albuquerque
Albuquerque today,
and
and
46
46
degrees
degrees here.
Well,
Actually, no, 52 degrees here.
well, when I woke up, it was -2 here, and now it's up to 5 with a wind chill of below 0, 5 below or something. But so this is not the place weather-wise, but as far as people, it might be a good place. But we're not talking about that. Yeah.
It's 7 degrees. Chris is so adorable.
Yeah.
Who's adorable?
Who's adorable?
My mom was saying that my friend Chris is adorable. Sorry,
It's
I
true.
switched dreams.
It's adorable.
She is adorable.
You know,
Righteous person.
Albuquerque is like,
it freezes
at night, every night.
and it's
And it's around 50 degrees every day.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It's so bad,
So bad,
so terrible.
it's terrible.
Well,
Well,
certainly not
when you compare it to Chicago.
Of course, in Chicago,
in Chicago, people just run around doing stuff anyway.
Like in
Like in Chicago, it's like 13 degrees right now.
But it don't
Don't
stop
stop
anybody.
everybody.
Myrtle Beach
Myrtle Beach
is
is cold.
Myrtle Beach is
Myrtle Beach is
38,
38,
and
and Albuquerque is 40.
Yeah, I checked that out.
They're about the
They're
same.
about the same, I guess.
It's amazing.
Well, Greg.
Well, Craig and I ran around when it was that cold.
Yeah, and by the lake it's warmer, and you get out in the suburbs right now it could be below 0, and Right, it's 10 right here. -5 wind chill. Anyway, we're not talking about the weather. We're talking
Well,
about.
Greg,
When you come on the 8th, it's gonna be above 70 every day.
Oh, that's too warm. I think I should put
I can't deal with that.
Well, in New York,
So in New York right now,
17 degrees.
17 degrees.
Well,
So things to test about.
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
I have never
come up with
come up with
anything
anything
that seemed
that
like
seemed like we could bring people to something
like
like the cafe. I think that is probably
as far as
like having people participate.
it's the best
It's
thing
the best thing I've ever done.
the best thing I've
Best thing I've ever
seen.
seen.
Because
really, I didn't dream it up. See, I actually was watching you do it for, you know,
And
and
you know, it's
too bad that more people didn't come into the cafe. See, Adam's Cafe didn't do a lot of business.
Right.
that was
The
main
problem.
It just
It
didn't
just
do
didn't do a lot of business.
So
So it wasn't a really good place to test having a pure cafe.
Mm.
but from
Well, from what I've watched
of
of you and the stories you told me,
you know,
like
basically
it was not called Pure Cafe, and people,
like about half
the people,
would just say
would just say like half the people who you asked about sharing something were interested in about 50%.
Yeah, I didn't even ask anybody, everybody, because but there was
probably
something.
asked
Probably asked
Definitely
like
the
10
energy.
people,
right?
right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Most of them would say yes, or it was just volunteers, some kind of issue that was going on.
So
Something along the line more like,
you know,
60 or 70%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you put
And
a
if you
sign
put a
out
sign out that says Pure Cafe, you might even increase that number.
Yes.
So as far as getting people to walk in who are at least interested or willing, I should use the word not interested, willing
to
try testing something.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's good for
It's good for that, you know? And
if you're
if you're going to act, if we had had a chance to test it out
in
in Albuquerque,
what I would have
done is just done a throwaway and spend like $2,000 to advertise it.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I kind of blew it because I realized if you guys would have advertised and, we talked it up as a Pure Cafe, we would have driven business in there. It really is a pretty location. And, it didn't have street traffic, but people would have come there and hung out there. Had we done a little bit more of that, when the weather gets cafe kind of weather.
Well, the
people
that you
asked, were they street traffic?
Yeah, well, it's a tourist destination, Old Town is. So a lot of people came because Old Town is on, these maps, and then the shops of Old Town were on a map, but our shop wasn't even on the map yet, and they were finding us, by chance. So, yeah, there's street traffic because it's a place to go. It's an area of Albuquerque that's historic and, a destination in itself, but there's a lot of other shops. So they just happened to find ours. And sometimes they would be walking in looking for the previous cafe, which was on the map. Not the cookie shop.
Yeah. Well, that's good to have in the same place then.
So, that's just, those basic kind of street maps, like, those maps you have of Duval Street, those kind of maps. Like, They have those of Old Town. And people, they'll look up coffee. Some people said that they found it online by Googling, coffee. Because people have reviewed it. Like people come and say they have fun, and then they make their comments on these other sites. And that's all it takes is one or two good comments, and that's what we have already.
Yeah, it's important to do that. People look up things, and and once you've got a spiral up or down, it's hard to change them.
Exactly, and we had a spiral up right away. Without even, stacking the deck, because people were just doing it without us asking them to. Some people did tell me, I'll write a good review for you on, Yelp or whatever it was, even before they even came in. And I said, oh, don't bother, we'll figure it out. And then people started doing it on their own. So that wasn't really too valid. The layout of the place was another concern I had. Like I would have, if we would have made it into a restaurant where we were cooking while we were there, that your back would have been to the entrance, if you know what I mean? Like the cooking area, and that felt a little off. I would have preferred it to be in the middle where you're facing the door. Like when Anna was making cookies, she was facing the door because, baking was just like stirring all this stuff in a...
You just put them in the behind.
Yeah, and you put them in the oven, which was on her right.
On the...
If you were making a sandwich or a salad or frying something or whatever, you'd have to probably put a grill or something in the back, and so you would have been having your back to the door unless you redid the whole kitchen.
We were talking about that. That's one of the things that they strive to do at Starbucks. They have you facing forward.
That really helps. I like that. That's what was fun about it.
Also, the person you greet is right front center.
Yeah.
For some stores, you have to go back to them, but they try to be
we have some ideas.
Make contact right away.
Yeah, we had an idea of making a checkout, like moving the place where you had the cash register to the end, sort of more like Starbucks, and have it kind of metallic and chrome, like modern looking on the other side, and the cookie baking being when we first walked in.
I feel like Franny. Ready?
Yeah?
Yeah?
I want to ask what you think about the cafe at this point.
Well, I'm not so much a feeling about it. Let me turn it down a little bit. I still unproven, and I keep thinking that we should find a cafe like Anna's and somehow manifest being able to set up in someone else's cafe. I thought them run their cafe. And I was thinking, what kind of person would accept that and then owns a cafe? Would it just get in the way of their making money or something?
Well, yeah.
I still would think that the problem is you have to have a successful cafe to have people come in at all. So that's always a biggie that I'm not prepared.
Well, if we'd had the courses going in New York at 84th Avenue, and we set up a cafe in the front room, there would have been people coming and going in there, and people would have brought people in, I think. We had actually had an operation there.
Yeah, if we even charged $1 for every cup of tea we had served in there, we would have made it.
Yeah, right. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. But the point was people would have hung out. You know, we did have them hanging out, and they were assisting. It was like a cafe without feeding them and them paying money, and people from the street didn't wander in. But it was the activity we want to generate is that involvement and assisting and working. Always, you know, at the time, always you could clear something. I think it would take a lot for people to actually see it as a destination to come there. Barb, if you were in Appleton and you had downstairs inside the front door, in the reception area, there was a cafe there right inside the door.
Here?
Yeah. You were talking to people, you invite them over.
Yeah.
Would they come over and sit in the cafe with you and buy some coffee? And
Yeah, probably. I mean, there actually is a cafe there, but it has limited hours. And the cafe that where I just had breakfast is owned by like a church or charity. It's like a Christian cafe.
yeah.
It was packed. They had like a whole line of computers, and they had like a really pretty old building. And it's, you know, people know what it is, and they love to patronize it. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty slow place here in terms of community. But if I had my friends come over, it'd be a place to meet them, and they'd sit and have coffee with me. Or I would have been there, sitting there this morning waiting, rather than just in the lobby. But yeah, you know, you can make a cafe happen anywhere. Everybody loves coffee and tea and chai and stuff like that. And people love having a good environment. Like when people used to come into the cookie shop to have a cookie, they would say, "Oh, this is exactly what I was looking for. Like I found my spot." Yeah, like I used to do that in New York. In New York City, I used to walk around and I found the Cloisters Cafe. I knew exactly what I was looking for, and when I found my spot, it was like, okay, here it is. And I used to go there and get my cappuccino. I remember on 6th or 7th Street. Because you just know what kind of...
Nice.
I remember that place.
Remember that place? They gave you a huge mug like this, and it was like
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that place, yeah. It was like, you know, you spent $2.50, and you felt like you were in a really fancy... It was just like, I was there for hours. It was great. They had a courtyard, and we had a courtyard at Anna's. The best one in that whole place. So you know, you build a regular clientele. I had a guy show up one time with the, you know, all his biking stuff on, and he said he rode his bike 16 miles. and he came back a couple times.
Hi. Where is this? I just got your
Barb's on mute. She's greeting somebody.
Lunch has arrived.
No.
Mom's checking the nurse's temperature, telling her she's chilly. Yes, you better get a sweater on. That's good, Mom.
I have my soup.
Okay.
Isn't that true to my mother
Yes.
and Dad?
You see this, Greg? This is in Chicago, Greg.
That was at the wedding reception.
This is my grandmother and my father.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
The big day in Chicago.
Yeah.
So, cafes are like that. Those like a bar. Like you go to your favorite bar. It's not just your neighborhood bar. Even though there was also a neighborhood around there. And if we would have opened that thing at a regular time every morning, we probably would have had a different regular customer base too. We were slightly erratic. Distracted by the infomercials, but you know, I was thinking today when I was talking to Chris, like, what if we had it on TV? She said that right away. She said, "Oh yeah." You could still have people call in. You could have that live feeling. the people that come out of the audience, but or film it on TV, film it in the cafe rather. It would be good to have a profit center for you, Greg. Having some money coming in that you can count on. If you design the cafe properly, it would be a profit-making thing.
It would be a significant change in our lifestyle.
Well, that's what I thought too, but then the more I thought of it, it doesn't necessarily have to be there, because it wouldn't have to be just us. It would be someplace you would drop in on maybe and check it out, but you wouldn't have to be getting up at 5 in the morning and opening it up maybe. And that's what I kept thinking I'd have to be doing.
Well, if you're running it, you have to be willing and able to do that, and until you're able,
yeah.
Until you have assistance or you're paying someone, or else you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, true. True. That's true.
So, you know, Anna was probably looking at you to do that.
I know.
To be there all the time, and or not all the time, obviously. But.
Yeah. I could, yeah. I think we didn't make it clear what I misunderstood what would come my way for doing that too, or what it would to be the trade-off. And plus I was just kind of exhausted, so now I could physically do it, you know, especially if it was worthwhile. And I'm sure I would get more friends to come and help later on. That location was tricky.
Could you do it, Bob, day after day,
Call from
every morning?
Reginald.
I saw my dad do it every day, but I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think I could. That's why I said no at the very last minute. But I bet I could. You know, if I had to, and if you, and like Anna would do, she'd feel it.
Talking about it, it's one thing, but doing it every day is another story.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. And then, then when Anna didn't feel like it, she just didn't go. You know, so I took her lead, and that's what. And you'd have your staff take over. And we had people that wanted to work for us, but we just were kind of not hoarding, but we were just preferring to pay ourselves rather than other people. And they weren't totally volunteers, but they were, you know, people that, like young people that worked, you know, we do it for $8 an hour. So that wasn't so bad. And you get 3 customers and you've made your $8 for an hour. Easy. Like anybody who walked in the door always spent $5 or $6, it seemed like. So, you know. So we were just, so yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do it every day necessarily either. But if I would have done it with a break and all that, like someone suggested, you know, you get up and you open it from 7 to, you know, 11, and then you go home and come back at 2. That's another scenario.
Anyway, it's still a very long timetable.
It is, and then you have to go buy the supplies and whatever and make the stuff. But once we get it going. I saw that menu that Byron created. It was just basic, like teas. You can make some things in advance.
Well, Anna
said that she made it into a coffee shop instead of a restaurant. It was bad and she wanted to use it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. She only had to bake 2 days a week, really.
And the ingredients don't go bad, you know.
Right. It's all dry ingredients almost.
Well, this morning, the woman said she didn't want to do dinner. They didn't want to do dinner with the whole different thing. It's much more complicated. So they open till like 3 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at too. But then this woman came in one night at around 4:30, and she said she worked in a gallery nearby. And she said she was coming over just to check us out. And I said, she asked, are you open at night? And I said, well, I haven't been. And she said, oh, you should stay open at night. A whole different crowd comes out here at night. She said, you know, people after work and they're more interested in buying things. They spend more money. They're not just wandering around. So, and we never even explored the evenings.
That's the other thing that the flying saucer people did too, is that they picked a place that was already set up for the restaurant to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made changes that they didn't have to like start from scratch.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah.
The Cloister Cafe has accumulated all these stained glass windows and
Yeah, that's what was so
elements and
cool about.
hookahs and things.
Uh-huh. Oh, really? It was based on that place, the Cloisters. That's up.
Yeah, based on the cloisters.
They'll also have an outdoor garden, which
That's where I was.
Yeah, it's very narrow, but then it goes back and kind of cuts behind it. I remember sitting
Yeah, I would sit
there.
in that outdoor garden.
What's that guy that Linny liked? The Italian guy,
No, not
Fellini or something. You know.
So what street is it
Ugo,
on?
Ugo Marco Ugolini. Remember Marco Ugolini?
What street is it on?
9th, 238 9th Street. 238 East 9th, just west of 2nd Street, 1 block south of the St. Mark's Church.
Oh, like you're in another world over there.
Completely different world now.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you just put your attention on it and it develops. So that's what we were starting to do with the Albuquerque thing. As you
I know.
work things out and you cure things, and things become easier. It's when you're not looking at it, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
So, and you get clear about it. So, like the Defense Department will have attention of all these hotspots around the world, and have made a lot of pre-choices, so it makes it easy to go right to a plan if something develops. So,
Need to have some drones.
it's got to be a realistic,
Yeah.
to know about rents and houses and equipment and
Yeah, maybe we should look up what used cappuccino machines cost and all that stuff. That seemed like the money maker was the espresso machine, and then having even Barbara said, if we had, matcha tea and genmatcha tea and things like that. Just make it in bulk. You look at something like the Cauldron, and maybe that's a big production. I guess that's a lot of work.
Well, then you have to know how to make a good cappuccino, not just
Exactly, and I know, and I didn't really know how to make a good one, but we had good coffee itself. That was the raw material was good. Yeah, I know. So my brother was saying, he goes, "You ought to go work at a Starbucks and learn how to do it right."
Well, you could work at a Starbucks to get some experience, but they've got their own proprietary stuff, which you'd be working at a successful cafe that.
Yeah. But also, he didn't really know what we were doing.
I was thinking that.
I'm not trying to be Starbucks. That was what Anna was saying too, and I don't want to be a Starbucks. That's what people like. They liked it was slower, and they talk to you while you're making it and stuff like that.
But I think it would be a good idea to get some experience working at Starbucks.
But yeah. Well,
even if only for a little while.
And your assistants would be there. But you can look up on YouTube and learn how to make a cappuccino or espresso properly.
Yeah, but watching it is something. Doing it is different.
Well, if you have a machine to practice on, like I did have, it shouldn't take that long. But yeah, I know what you mean. But again, these are all things that I just, doesn't excite me to do that right now. So, but.
Yeah, but Bob, it would be for a very short time.
You sound like my brother. Okay,
I don't think it will take you months to learn.
I have to go compete with all the 14-year-old kids if I want to work at Starbucks, but I'll fill my application out online. Maybe I'll get hired. I got offered a good job here with Kimberly Clark, so if there's a really good job here, I'd be doing exactly what I do for the Curie Drive. Almost.
I'll tell you what I think.
I
I don't think you should go to work at Starbucks necessarily.
That's a big
rigmarole.
I
think probably if anybody should go to work at Starbucks, me.
Because
then I could go through the whole process of filling out the application and understanding how they do everything.
So I
Yeah.
try the right person
to do that. But what I think that you ought to do
is I think
is I think you should go to Starbucks every day for, an hour or so
and have
and have coffee and meet people and
Yes.
test with them
and charge them,
$300 for your coaching client.
I know, you're right, actually, Starbucks downtown in Santa Fe is where all the tourists hang out in the morning.
Yeah, Starbucks or the Aztec or whatever.
Yeah.
You should spend a lot of time in cafes.
Okay.
Meeting people and getting clients making money.
Real money.
Okay, I will. Close to the cafes. Well,
And at the same time, observe the service and then, how the entry flow and all that stuff.
Keep your eyes
Just watch
the things,
Uh-huh.
And another thing is a lot of Starbucks movies on the web.
There's a lot of what?
Yep, tons of YouTube movies that Starbucks makes a lot of them, and also other people make them for Starbucks, and then also other people just make them not for Starbucks, but there's a lot of Starbucks. If you do a search, go into YouTube and do a search on Starbucks, there's a lot of movies. You can also do searches on coffee shops on YouTube and probably find other ones.
Yeah.
And, you get people showing you how to bake things, and, but I learned tons of things like what Greg was saying about how Starbucks employees face front.
Yeah.
I actually got that from Greg. I didn't get that from one of the movies. Greg told me that. About 2 months ago or something, Greg told me that. I remember you telling me that, Greg.
Right. I was watching
And I don't know where
television.
you got it.
I was watching a thing about Starbucks, and it's like on MSNBC or some show about business, and there's the things on the web. They show you how to make the exotic, how to swirl the milk.
Yeah.
I sent one of those out on my Facebook page.
Absolutely instructions about everything or anything we could possibly want.
I learned how to make ghee yesterday online, and I followed the instructions, and I made, here's my nice ghee that I made. I learned how to make it now.
Oh, wonderful.
I made it myself.
That's
not that hard.
Great. We're all fantastic cooks,
Yeah.
So, well, I'm very pleased with our meeting. I think that it's certainly time to stop now, order up. And Ross, thank you for suggesting that Mark go to work at Starbucks. It's really,
You're welcome.
I sort of understood it, but I want to say that it really is great that you're insisting that Bart confront things and take action in her life. And I know you're going to really help her with your sessions with her and Bart. Just show up for your goddamn sessions with Ross, okay?
Oh, yeah, I will.
Make sure you
Yeah, we changed the timetable.
Yeah, my mother gave me a calendar for Christmas, so now I have everything
Wonderful. Violet, are we having the meeting on Tuesday?
Yes,
this Tuesday's meeting will be about using our
Website.
web college to overcome resistances in people, not unwilling people, not people who are thoroughly resistant to the idea, but when we're working with people, we encounter resistance. And see, this is what I've been trying to help you with, because what you do when you encounter resistance is you encourage it and tell the person, okay, you don't need it anyway, But what you're supposed to be doing is using our technology to get past their resistance and have them see that they do need it. Barb, you with me on this?
Yeah, that's true, because actually, when the counter resistance lately, I just say to myself, okay, this person, like I'm chalking them out, or I'm just gonna let them go. Just
Well, a lot of, don't let people go. See,
because I used to be a really good person at going past resistance, but I kind of burnt myself out. But now I think I'm ready to get more skilled at it.
Well, you got pushy, and you lost some of your skill because you started being pushy with people.
I mean, back when we enrolled people, like when Greg and I and Keely used to be big enrollers, I outlast people, but now I just need to get it more. Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's what our Tuesday class is about. And there's some things that in my new movie where I applied this, and I'm doing great with it. So I think we'll have a good plan.
Nice.
Now next Tuesday, I have a doctor's appointment for my father, and I will be leaving right after the call starts. So I think you should do the call from Florida, and I can be.
You know what? I really want to do this class with everybody. So why don't? Okay, I'm gonna. Let me see. Your session with Ross is on Wednesday, right?
Yes, we
Yes.
could do that.
The joint session.
We could.
And after the joint session, Bob.
I'm gonna put it off for another week, so there's no class on Tuesday.
Okay. Oh, well,
Because Greg can't. Sorry, but that's it. You know, Greg can't make it, so there's no class. Greg will be here the following Tuesday, and we'll definitely be able to have Greg in the meeting then.
Oh, stop.
Okay.
No, I'll have to be out in the yard. It needs trimming. All right, guys. Wonderful being with everybody.
Barb, Franny, and Greg, can you stay on for a few more minutes?
Sure.
I just want to take you something with you. Okay?
We're at Starbucks for my interview. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. On Wednesday, Greg and Franny, our usual time, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then Barb, after that, an hour with you.
You know, I'll be in Santa Fe, so we gotta get this time straight again. So, what time?
It would be from, I'm telling you my time, wrong time.
Is it before or after Greg's?
After.
So what time would it be for me, Greg? You have Santa Fe.
It depends on. We've been going over the hour. If you're 1 hour behind me. What you're talking about?